welcome to group number 2 presentation. My name is Chad Krisht. I will be walking you through the first part of it. Starting with our agenda for today, it consists of 4 core pillars. First, environmental impact assessment. Second, mitigation measures. Third, discussion. And fourth, conclusion and recommendations. With the fast-growing population of Toronto City, along with its hyperactive economy, transit network expansion projects have always been on the table. Eglinton Crosstown Light Rail Transit is one of the several massive transit projects the city has been working on for the past 10 years. This new transit line is light rail, which means it combines both the speed of the streetcar and the passenger capacity of a subway, making it more convenient than both. It is at the verge of completion and opening to the public. Moving on to the scope of this presentation, like every large-scale project, ECLRT left behind diverse environmental impact on society, such as air quality, property waste management, hydrogeological considerations, natural heritage, noise pollution, and contamination. Air quality effects are more minor compared to other aspects. Its impact are evident only during significant extraction and excavation phases of the project, as the new transit system is emission-free. Property waste management is the expected property loss due to the construction. A sum of 149 properties is required. Some are entirely acquired, while others are partially. Next, my colleague Muhammad will continue to tackle the second part of the presentation.
Thanks, Jad, and hello everyone. My name is Mohammed, and I will be discussing the following topics: hydrological considerations, natural heritage, noise pollution, and contamination. Hydrogeology is the study of distribution and movement of water. As there is a sufficient supply of water in the Eglinton area shown, there are no expected effects on local water supplies due to the ECLRT's construction. However, impact on ecological features like floods can occur where the construction is carried out along water body's surface. Dewatering can be performed if such events are anticipated. A monitoring plan following the bylaws and guidelines of Ministry of the Environment for water quality and quantity is necessary in the case of dewatering construction. Natural heritage assessment documents potential impacts to any natural features present within the Eglinton area. Vegetation communities and vegetation loss or displacement are witnessed. These vegetation disturbances can be through influences such as sun-scald, invasion by exotic species, and drainage amendments. Some of the effects of noisy environment include sleep disorder, hearing problems, and sometimes cardiovascular diseases. The noise levels are expected to increase during excavation and filling construction. As shown in the last 2 columns of the table, the maximum increase of sound level is between 3 to 4 decibels. Since they are both under the limit for allowed sound increase, which is 5 decibels, there is no control warrant regarding ECLRT operations. The potential for contamination in the ECLRT is assessed according to low, moderate, or high impact areas. High potential contamination areas include land with commercial operations that can affect groundwater. Moderate contamination includes land used for agriculture operations. And finally, low contamination include open space, agriculture, or residential areas. Thanks for your listening, and now I'll pass it to my colleague Elias to take over.
My name is Elias, and I'll be discussing the mitigation measures, the discussion, conclusion, and recommendations. For air quality, best management practices will be implemented and a decrease in pollutant release during operations is forecasted. For noise pollution, construction bylaws of the Toronto Municipal Code will be complied with and acoustic barriers constructed. For property waste management, groundwater and soil investigations will be done in areas with high impact according to provincial regulatory requirements, and excess materials managed under provincial regulations. For hydrogeological, a monitoring plan for water quality and quantity in case of dewatering will be created, and the bylaws of Toronto Sewer and guidelines for the Ministry of Environment for groundwater treatment followed. For contamination, extra investigations are expected and a risk assessment will be produced to gauge contaminated work materials. Finally, heritage impact assessments conducted by the Metrolinx Heritage Committee will analyze impacts and identify conservation choices. The key takeaways here are that the air quality has been assessed for construction and operation periods, and contamination assessments range from low, medium to high impacts. In addition, extra measures such as testing and lab sampling can be performed. It is expected that extra excavated materials will impact natural heritage sites, and the removal of vegetation and impact on wildlife habitat is probable. The installation of bird-friendly lighting and vegetation removal outside of breeding seasons can combat this. In conclusion, the impact on air quality is minor during significant excavation activities, and addressing contamination effects is key for groundwater determination. The effects of wildlife and vegetation on natural heritage has been examined, and innovative measures can be applied. Above all else, an environmental impact assessment is key for environmental safety and sustainable economic development. The team recommends that the bedrock located beneath the ECLRT be considered during tunneling and excavation work. Also, dewatering is not necessary for shallow excavations below the water table, but extra care is required during construction near buried surface water features. Concerning property waste management and contamination, continuous sampling and testing should be performed for conserving vegetation and wildlife and to ensure environmental compliance.